controller of the Lambeth CPCG. I'd really like to challenge the police on this stop and search stuff. When you get intelligence that somebody may be carrying a knife, or possibly even a gun, it's very seldom that you send an ordinary copper to go and stop and search that person. You send usually a van load of people, some of whom have tasers, and stop them, if you can, that way. And I really do have tried to understand over the years what stop and search is for. If you really think that the young person is carrying a knife, I doubt really whether you would actually challenge them directly as a copper on the street. If they're carrying a gun and you think that, you certainly aren't going to. And stop and search, by its very nature, must be confrontational. If somebody stops me and says they're going to search me, I don't know how you do that nicely. I don't think it's possible to do it nicely. It is a confrontation, and if it's me, I'm going to give you some cheek. And of course that is what happens. And then you get taken in because you're being cheeky, and there'll be a certain sort of, it'll be put a different way, won't it? So, I don't know how you do it. We've seen these films, these videos that they show to young people in schools where it says, "Excuse me, sir," Well, actually, it doesn't happen like that, and it is never going to happen like that. I mean, if you take something like the Territorial Support Group, they can patrol this borough in groups of 6 in a van. They want to stop and search someone. It's a group of 6 people, not all of whom may jump out of the van at once, but certainly, it's very seldom one person. And do they always fill you out a slip? No, they don't. You have a right to go and claim that slip later on at a police station or a week after or something, but of course they should fill out the stop and slip search then, and they do not always do that. So I really want to hear from some of the other police. What is the point of stop and search?
Leading on from what you just said, my name's Tim, working with SC1 United as a youth worker. Growing up, I've been stopped and searched. It's not like a surprise, shouldn't be. I haven't really encountered police who have come to me one-on-one, as you said. It's always been more than one. Stopping and searching doesn't really make sense to me because you've used an act onto a young person. You've said to them you're stopping you under Section 60, which they don't know themselves. And I found out not too long ago that an act can only be brought into place when a law has been broken. How many laws do people break when they walk on the street? If a young person is walking onto the streets and you stop them, do you not have to have some sort? I do not know. Do you not have to have some sort of intelligence as to why you're stopping them? Because every time I've been stopped and searched, I think it's because I'm wearing a hoodie or a puffer jacket, or I look the way they look on TV. So the way we are, in the media, young people see 50 Cent or whoever carrying guns and knives, and they are, what's that word? They're brought in, and it's glamorous to them. Not role models, you used the wrong word. It's glamorized to them. And I think that the kind of things that's on TV that you're showing us, they are showing us, is what's making us think like this. And I think the kind of things that they're showing us on TV is what's making police officers scared themselves. So, I think, I can't really blame, to me, I don't really like police, to be honest. I'll be very blunt about it. I don't really think it's the police's fault because they're not really well educated on how criminals move and the real criminals out there. All right, having a knife is a crime, yes, but there are other criminals out there who just
search and using that method for finding knives. I think for stop and search, I think out of all the stop and searches, I think it's about 10% of the top stop and search actually lead to arrest, and then only 2% of those are actually charged. And so if you think about the amount of, if you do a sort of harm to society kind of thing, and if you think about all the bad relations that have come out as a result of it and the impact that it has on the people, if they're less likely, those 98% now that have been stopped and searched and not been charged, if they now feel that there's a certain level of mistrust towards the police, if they then as a result also feel sort of underprotected, then I feel that there is sort of a chance that actually it might even in a way exacerbate knife crime, because you feel underprotected, and you're less likely to come forward to the police with certain intelligence, then actually you might be less likely to find crime, and at the same time it might be that young person or whoever it is might feel, okay, do you know what, I might actually take matters into my own hand because I don't feel that the police are there for me. So I guess my observation is if you weigh it out, how much damage does it actually do compared to how much good it does?
I just want to quickly ask, what year was it that the stop and search started?
Powers we use stop and search came in 1984, the Police and Criminal Evidence Act. But the gentleman quite rightly said there's other legislation as well, like Section 60, explaining those powers as well. But coming back to the point as well, it's such a critical encounter, stop and search, the way it's conducted. Sometimes, it depends on the circumstances. Sometimes force might have to be used because that force needs to be justified according to the law, to the Police and Criminal Evidence Act. Reasonable, and it's got reasonable grounds as well. But there is legislation about it and how the search is actually conducted. People do certainly need to know what their rights are, be aware of their entitlement to a copy, and also to know why they have actually been searched. And that is really important that they're actually aware. But I said at the start, we don't get it right all the time. We simply don't. They are critical encounters. And a point that was raised about, why do you do it? Is it because I'm wearing a hoodie? Police have got to have firm grounds in order to, they say, so that you can explain that to an objective third party. I can sit to the gentleman sitting next to me and I say, this is why I've searched this man here. And you listen to me and think, okay, that's reasonable. You might say, hang on a sec, that's not reasonable. You searched him, he had a hoodie. No. What are the grounds did you use? Did you actually use to search? And I think it's really important because of all the activities that we get involved in. And it's not just stop and search, it's stop and speak sometimes, stopping to speak to somebody, and the way it's conducted as well. And there can be situations where officers do jump in and go in there, yeah, and immediately break that relationship as well. But there are circumstances when force does have to be used, and the circumstances provide it's justified, so it's not all just stop and speak. But it's such a critical encounter, stop and search. It's something, it's so important that we do actually get it in the circumstances. We get it right, but we don't. I've got to say that, we don't get it right.
First point is, I do feel some individuals do need to take responsibility. I know you're not going to agree with me what I'm about to say, but everybody does work on being successful in what they do. And in order to be successful, you have to target, you have to do the right thing. So in a sense, you might see someone in a hoodie, blah, 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 and associate that with gang culture, drug dealing, or they're going to do wrong. Let's say I walked on the street and put on a police uniform. Naturally, what you're going to do, you're going to think I'm a police officer in that sense. So you have to remember, a lot of people, naturally as human beings, you're going to go on by instinct and what you see. In contradiction to that, I might be normal and driving my BMW or Audi, which I do drive occasionally, and get pulled over a lot of the times. For what reason? Because I have a flash car, I shouldn't have a flash car. What is the reasons? When you question them, they'll give you all other reasons. So there's some context whereby the stop and search is done in a sense whereby you naturally feel you've seen something wrong and that's why you attend. But there are a lot of situations whereby it is really a more demeaning kind of approach to that individual that you've stopped for that reason. So in those 2 points I just want to say is, as individuals, we're all smart human beings. If you are wearing a hoodie, sagging down, and then start shifting yourself when a police officer walks by, assumingly he's going to come and talk to you. there's no doubt about that. But obviously, if you're walking around on the street normally and they are questioning you, then that's a different story.
My name is Sian, I work at SE1 United, and I'd like to build on what Mo was saying there, because I think it's looking at categories of people who are being stopped and searched, and the future of stopping and searching. I think that you'd make some very successful arrests if you stopped and searched on a Friday night in Shoreditch, but you might not be arresting categories that you're expecting, because people will be abusing drugs in that area.
Basically, engaging like with young people, I think the police engaging more with young people looks somehow all right, but I feel like that's like almost like the workers of hidden oppressors. I feel like you're just doing the dirty work sort of thing, innit? Because like engaging with the young people more, police in your yard, coming in your house, or it could be, because it's basically your personal life now. It's like the oppressors become our friends now, like they're trying to be friends with us. Like that's how like it almost feels, innit? And with the stop and search thing, I don't think that's right. But if it's a thing where you could like if you could break it down to something where it would help bring down criminality, then I agree with that. But there's other aspects to it as well. There's a lot of things that needs to be really deep in, because it's not just like the surface, because this thing's been going on for a very long time. And I didn't even know that it was 84 that the stop and search came into. That's like almost 20 something years. Even back up, do you know what I mean? So it's been a long time, so that means our parents are feeling it. So how do you think we feel as the youngers, isn't it? And if they didn't have a chance to talk then, what do you think the outburst would be now? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think the solution can be brought and things can be done in each and every individual. So if individuals want to take themselves out of the positiveness, the peace, love, fun, then they're just going to be on the other side of things, and I'm going to be the one that's beating down the nice ones, the nice people. So.
What are you going to do when criminals change their dress code and start wearing suits? Are you going to stop everyone?
Sorry, my name's Josiah. It's to do with what she's saying. Like, obviously now, our generation is getting smarter and smarter. And the reason why you stop and search people on the road is because they dress a certain way or they act a certain way. So now, what if these people get smarter now and start dressing casually, and you find them with a knife on them or a gun on them? So what are you going to do now? You're going to start searching people that look and dress appropriate?
Absolutely. I mean, it shouldn't be about dress. And it is at times. We know that. The fact is, but it shouldn't be about it. And whether you're wearing a suit or a hoodie, there's always got to be that information that police act upon is why they choose to use the powers of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act to stop and search that individual. So it should be more, it should be based on not just dress or appearance, it should be that additional information as well that they should be acting upon. And I agree, I certainly agree with you in that respect. And as well as that, I think we do need to listen more, engage more with young people as well, because we can learn. Yeah? Because when you look at the population of Lambeth, how many young people are on. And you know, there is disproportionality in stop and search in this borough, because you are more likely to stop and search if you're black.
I've never been stopped and searched.
No, I'm just saying, but I accept that there is disproportionality.
I'm black.
And also as well, with regards, you know, sort of dress, etc. And coming back to what we're talking about, I think it's really important that our officers do regularly or have some engagement with young people and experience, yeah? Police stop and search, etc. I'm a firm believer in that. I think that is an important way forward. And it's not just engagement, but it's actually listening and acting upon it and that awareness. But you know, coming back to the actual powers, it's using that power, it's having that objective reason that you can explain to a person independently, objectively, why you use that power. It should be more than just dress, unless there's a description of a person wearing particular clothing that is in possession of something, which has done something, then you can accept it, yeah?